You are listening to UFO Buster Radio, and I have a question for you. Do you like to go fishing, or do you want to learn how to fish? Well, I have the answer for you. Whether you're an avid angler or just starting out, Angling Waters Outdoors is the place to learn and advance your fishing skills. I'll be your guide, Marty Angler. And I'm not just a bass fishing tournament angler, but I also like to fish for other species as well. I'll help guide you through the different methods and baits to help you catch more fish all year long. So catch me at Angling Waters Outdoors here on Spreaker. Now back to UFO Buster Radio and my friend Manny Moonraker.
So you want to be a ufologist. So you want to be known as a ufologist. Frankly, my dear, I don't know that that's really what you want to do. You might just be lying to yourself. But here's a few steps in case you want to be a ufologist, and all part of this episode 129 of the UBR UFO Report. If you want to be a ufologist, step 1, you have to actually see a damn UFO. Now, this step could be completed pretty easily, actually, because you can have your friend at random, just throw something in the air or have it fly by, and you can just see it go by and say, I saw a UFO. It's best if you make sure that they don't tell you what they threw. You could throw a hubcap or something like that. Or maybe something shaped like a triangle. Or maybe disguise a drone or something. Have it fly by at a high rate of speed. And you can report that, but just say that it was silent. And then be traumatized. Step number 2 is be totally traumatized. Be completely traumatized for the rest of your life. Because it's that trauma that's going to make you go out and continuously research UFOs. Step 3. Step 3 is write a book about it. Write a book about your incident and make sure that you shove it in people's faces even though they could give two shits about it. Send repeated emails to the same person like 30 times a day, trying to sell your book about your experience that your friend created. And if you're lucky, step 4 is optional. And that is the number one thing. Like, let me tell you, if step 4 happens, if you can make this happen, you'll be a ufologist, and that is get probed repeatedly. Repeated probing is a game changer for ufology. And a ufologist that claims to be repeatedly probed is a winner in my book, and they will automatically be considered a ufologist. No fucks are given. You are in 100%. Just don't go into too many details because you'll have to talk on podcasts like this one. So I made all those things up because, that's the way I envision a ufologist, to be honest with you. The pseudoscience gets a little crazy sometimes, and that's the way I see people actually becoming ufologists. I have an article for you for today's discussion. It is titled, How Do You Become a Ufologist? And this was actually posted by the website How Stuff Works. I don't know that shit really works. What's fascinating about this particular article is that it starts talking about one of the superstars of ufology, who says he's not a ufologist. No, shit. Isn't that a problem right there from the beginning? This thing talks about this guy from across the pond, who basically had a career as a civil servant with the UK Ministry of Defence. I wonder if you can guess who that rubber dicker was. All right, let me help you. It was Nick Pope, of course. They talk about his 25 years with the MOD and how all of a sudden, out of the blue, they gave him an assignment to investigate UFO reports. That's what he did. And he wrote a book about it. And actually, it turns out his first book was about Rendlesham Forest. And after that, the guy just became happy-go-lucky, because these days you do not see a damn UFO conference without Nick Pope being in there. You don't see a tweet going out about UFOs or a Facebook post that somehow Nick Pope has stuck his nose into. But he is part of ufology, whether he likes it or not. So 25 years. And what's funny is every time I hear about Nick Pope and investigating UFOs for the MOD, what I picture is somebody in a broom closet sitting on a crate and basically holding papers in his lap or inside of a briefcase or something like that, as he's looking on his phone or his little personal iPad device, trying to investigate UFOs in this broom closet. It almost seems like that's what he made it seem like in a lot of ways, that this was like, the office below the basement. The one that no one else wanted to work because they thought it was a bunch of bullshit that the MOD would even be dealing with things like this. Which, in fact, today, why wouldn't they be dealing with it? Like, are you serious, MOD? Are you serious right now? Sorry. Sometimes I get that accent when I get that serious phrase going. I don't know what it is. But anyway, this article is talking about being a ufologist, and that's what we're talking about here. A fascinating fact is that Nick Pope says he is not a ufologist. He says he's an investigator. He is a UFO investigator thanks to all the time that he spent working with the MOD, checking out UFO cases, and, getting his nose dirty in this craziness. Now, Nick Pope has always said that most of the sightings that he investigated were ruled out for many different reasons, but that he could pretty much say that a significant amount of them were just not credible enough or did not have enough evidence to really be anything significant. But yeah, he says there were a few. There were a few cases where you want to think, what if this is the one? What if this is the one that really is from 4.24? Hence why he got into writing the book for Rendlesham Forest. But it takes a little more, right? It takes a little more, because what we're looking at here is ufology is a pseudoscience. And just because it has the word science in it, people think it's a big deal. It should be in some way taught officially somewhere to where people can learn about this other than going to Ancient Aliens or UFO History Channel special or watching Predator the movie. There's got to be a way that people can learn more about this than just the interwebs, because the interwebs, well, everything is true on the interwebs, as the people say, so maybe the interwebs is not that bad. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But the fact is that the UFO investigator says that basically after 25 years of tooling around with UFOs, he in no way is going to claim the title of ufologist. But if you have any kind of interest in getting a ufology degree, you're kind of, in a way, going to have to go to the non-traditional way of getting degrees. At the present time, traditional colleges and universities are not offering programs in ufology, the pseudoscience. However, according to the article, if you're savvy with online learning tools, you may be able to not only take courses, but even get an advanced degree in ufology. The first sample of that is the International Metaphysical University, or IMU, and it actually offers 6 courses in ufology. 6 courses. Are you serious? This is incredible. And really, to give you the creme de la creme of ufology, the very first course, which is an introduction to ufology, is actually led by no one other than Richard Dolan. Richard himself holds a degree from Alfred University in history. Now, This is like a lecture series online relating to UFOs. And some of the topics for some of these courses are: what are UFOs? Theories of ancient visitation, the early cover-ups, and so forth. The cost for these is $200 to $400 a pop. So if you want to really learn about these UFOs and feel that an online course can get you there you go. So go visit EMU, the International Metaphysical University, and see what they got. Maybe sign up for a course or two, see what the deal is. Now, there's other universities online that also have offerings for you guys that want to get some kind of paperwork behind your title of ufologist. One is the Center of Excellence in the UK and IMHS Metaphysical Institute. Now, they both offer full degree programs in ufology. That's right, folks. You heard it right here. I'm not getting paid for this advertising, but I'm just covering this article. But they do offer full degrees in ufology. And, like I say, you cannot write some of this stuff. An advanced degree under ufology is going to cost you a little under $2,000. And there's a quote in here by the author that wrote this article that says, basically, here's a conversation starter. And it goes, quote, "I recently got my PhD in ufology with a specialization in abduction research." All jokes aside, I mean, listen, somebody's got to learn something about this. And I don't see anything wrong with getting some kind of degree in ufology. But some people would rather do it firsthand, Why even bother? I mean, come on. Go out there, spend a night out there in the middle of the woods, get probed, get it firsthand. You'll be able to interview the prober as the probee. But if you're interested in taking courses in ufology, they're here. All you got to do is sign up. Don't believe everything is on the internet, even though these courses are also on the internet. But, I mean, really, Richard Dolan, he's leading one of them. It can't be all bullshit, can it? For those of you who like Richard Dolan, I really could care or not care about him. Either way, it is what it is. I just feel that way about a lot of people, except for Ronnie Dawson, who is right now live on the Spreaker app and listening to the show as it happens right now. And he says, Nick Pope is a rubber dicker. Hashtag Ronnie, hashtag. And he says, this is what it is. The degree in ufology might be a fantasy right now because it's a pseudoscience. No one wants a degree in that shit. All we want to do is talk about it. Really, we just want to talk about it until the cows come home. And in Texas, there's a lot of cows. Lots of cattle. Plenty of steak. But I would sit around and talk about it forever. Because at this point, the people that are talking about it are not the ones with the information. So if you feel like you need a little more beyond the podcast realm of ufology, sure, sign up for these courses. Take a gander at the link in the description. And like I said, if you're savvy with online learning, this is for you. Learn a little more. Go in there. Find out the history of the probing. Find out what it means to be abducted from a course online. The truth is, it's probably a lot easier and a much better experience to join a group on Facebook of people who not only claim they were abducted or claim that they had experiences, but they also have evidence. I doubt that at any of these metaphysical bullshit universities that you're even going to find any kind of evidence that you can actually look at or hold or discuss with or have a chat with or get into a group and discuss. Because what's your point of reference? You have no point of reference. Richard Dolan, what the fuck is he going to offer you? I'm sorry. Ufology is a pseudoscience. That's it. That's all you need to know. What more is there to know? Come on. Give me a break. Ronnie says we can open up a university, a UBR university. We'll just leave off the metaphysics. But we can offer a master's course in rubber dicker identification. Listen, Ronnie, I gotta say it's a good idea. And the other thing too is that I received some messages last week where there was one individual who was saying, I really didn't understand the term rubber dicker at first, but as I continued to listen, it finally hit home what a rubber dicker is. And the thing is that a rubber dicker is everywhere. A rubber dicker is at the corner store. A rubber dicker is at the gas station. But unfortunately for us, most rubber dickers are in the topic of ufology. And they thrive really well. I mean, rubber dickers are swinging around like crazy. And everyone's a victim. On other news, which is not included in the description, apparently it looks like both Voyager satellites are going to be out of our solar system if they haven't gone already. I believe it was one of the Voyagers, one of those damn things. But it reminds me of that Star Trek movie where Voyager, which turned out to be Voyager, came back during the time of Kirk and decided to try to destroy the planet because he was coming back home. So one of those two fucker satellites are going to come back and try to destroy the planet. That's all I'm saying. So who cares that it just left the solar system and it's in deep space? We're in trouble, folks. Do they not do any of these Poindexters ever watch Star Trek at all? Don't you see the dangers of what they're doing? Anyway, that's just a side note. That was just something that just came to mind because I just read the article before I started the podcast today. But listen, all jokes aside, there's plenty of ways to learn about ufology. I don't think spending $2,000 is really a good thing for you. Fuck, there's enough freaking books out there since the freaking 40s that you can read that'll give you much more value than paying somebody online to go over a course off of something that they're probably going to get the info for off of the books that you could have read, which right now you could probably give it like $10. Don't get rubber dicked by rubber dickers. Get an education. Ufology right now is a pseudoscience, and the only ones that got the information are rich billionaires who like to hoard the real deal. So that's it. That was the episode for today. It's like a PSA, a public service announcement from UFO Buster Radio. Don't take online courses. They're going to take you for your money. By the way, also Google Plus is coming to an end in 10 months. So if you follow me at Plus Manny Moonbreaker, you better just give it up. It's time to jump ship. So go over to Twitter at UFO Buster Radio, or go to the Facebook pages UFO Buster Radio or Manny Moonbreaker and follow me there, because Google pretty much just screwed up. Everyone's information got out. They decided to keep it hush hush because of what was happening on Facebook. So now they decided, instead of owning up to their rubber dickery, they're just going to close down Google Plus altogether. Are you shitting me right now, Google? I mean, people just take zero responsibility for their actions. This is UFO Buster Radio. I'll check you out on Friday of this week. And by the way, we are also possibly going to end up on Deezer, and that is the worldwide music service that is now hosting podcasts. Over 180 countries have a Deezer, and very possible UFO Buster Radio will be there as well. So keep your eye on the prize, just like I am. And I'll speak to you in about 2 days. So ciao.